In cold Tasmanian waters, rescuers are doing their best. Work to save the stranded whales is slow. About 25 of the 270 have been rescued so far.
This is such a tricky event, such a complex event, that any whale we save, we're considering a real win.
At Ocean Beach, 23 whales have died and 3 are being triaged. At the main site, 2 larger pods have merged, but the whales are more spread out. Around a third of the whales have already died. At Ocean Beach, the task is tough. The couple of whales that are still alive aren't in enough water to refloat. They need to be moved along the beach first to be released further away.
I sort of expected there'd be more alive than there is, but there seems to be a lot of them, not moving. It's a bit disappointing, a bit heartbreaking.
Crews are focusing their efforts in the deep channel where the whales have a better chance of survival. It's a guiding rather than towing process.
The crews have been becoming more proficient and efficient throughout the day, so the effort has speeded up, so we'll continue to do the same tomorrow.
About 65 staff and volunteers are involved with extra help from local fish farms. For rescue teams, the task is both physically and mentally exhausting.
We're dealing with large stressed animals, for several days at a time, and it does take an emotional toll sometimes.
No, it's not the best thing to be looking at, especially when you're here in person and you're not just looking at it from Facebook. It's a lot more confronting.
Rescue crews will use a helicopter and infrared camera technology to properly assess how many of the whales are still alive. They acknowledge they'll only be dealing with live animals for a short period. By the end of the week, the focus is likely to shift from rescue to retrieval and disposal. It's unclear what caused the mass stranding, and authorities say it may never be known. Edith, Bevin, ABC News, Strawn.
Tasmania is a global hotspot for whale strandings. The biggest on record happened in 1935 at Stanley in the state's northwest. 294 pilot whales came ashore. There have also been 3 on the east coast at Marion Bay and another further up the east coast at Seymour.
Over the 200 years of recording, there's been about over 700 strandings involving about 7,000 individuals.
David Pemberton has worked on around a dozen mass strandings in Tasmania. He says the state's latitude is a major factor. These pilot whales live in the Southern Ocean, putting them near Tasmania, southern New Zealand and South America.
And that's when you get strandings, when they're further north in their sort of general distribution. And that's almost a cyclical event every 5 to 10 years. The pilot whales are in our waters and then they tend to strand.
One of the main reasons the pilot whales strand en masse is their highly social nature. It's not uncommon to have larger pods than the one in Strawn. Neville Perryman has fished in Tasmanian waters for 30 years.
I've seen bigger numbers than 270. It's sort of like porpoises sometimes. You get just miles of the pilot whales swimming past.
The strandings are common on low-profile sandy spits.
It's similar to where, the Henny dunes run down towards Cape Surreal and where it's shallow and you've got the harbour emptying out into the sea.
When a pod gets near the shore and has an accident like feeding too close, it actually gets a bit chaotic and the chaos then drives stranding of some of the individuals.
Having so many strandings in the state has had one benefit. It's meant rescuers have plenty of experience.
We've learned response time and response capacity, just what you need to make it happen, and that lots of people, lots of boats.
Experience tells them there are days of hard work yet to come at Strawn. Selina Ross, ABC News.